Whether you believe in the supernatural, God, the devil, or possession, we have all at one point or another hid behind our hands as we watched on as an innocent teen contorted their bodies, spoke in tongues, or even went on a murder spree. Possession films are a popular subcategory in the horror genre, and there are no shortage of them, so today we're going to be counting down some of the best ones on our list of the top 5 scary possession movies. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your host Lucy McPhee. Before we jump in, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And disclaimer, there are a lot of spoilers in this list. As you all should know by now, I love to ruin films for all of you on this channel, so yes, I will be explaining in detail the plots and endings to a lot of these films. You have been warned.
You're not good.
I know.
You think you can make up for the choices you made?
No.
You think you can be forgiven?
In at 5, Devil. Released in 2010, Devil is a supernatural horror film about 5 strangers that get trapped inside of an elevator, everyone's worst nightmare, and one by one the passengers begin to be killed off in a gruesome manner when the elevator lights periodically flicker on and off, revealing the fate of the next victim. Now going back to the first moments of the film, we're greeted by a voiceover, how the devil will sometimes seek individuals out who have sinned, taking human form and trapping them in confined places, turning others against them before killing everyone one by one. Brutal. Later on in the film we meet a security guard, Detective Bowden, a recovering alcoholic who explains that his life took a downward turn after his wife and son were killed in a hit and run 5 years prior. The perp was never caught. Back in the elevator, one man is killed after being thrown into a mirror by an unknown force, slicing his jugular vein. An old woman is hanged by a lamp cord from the elevator ceiling, another man's neck is twisted and a girl's throat is slit, leaving one remaining passenger, Tony. But things aren't great for him, as the corpse of the old woman seemingly comes back to life, revealing herself as the devil and stating that she has come for Tony. It is then that Tony confesses to being responsible for a hit and run that happened, you guessed it, 5 years ago. The devil becomes powerless now that Tony has repented and eventually vanishes. The elevator comes back to life and Tony is free. Detective Bowden takes Tony into custody, and while en route, he informs Tony that it was his wife and child that he had killed 5 years prior and that he forgives him. How sweet. In at 4, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Released in 2005, The Exorcism of Emily Rose is a supernatural horror film based loosely on the Annalise Michel case. Follows a defense counselor played by Lorraine, an agnostic representing a parish priest, accused of negligent homicide after an exorcism. Emily Rose is a 19-year-old student that died of self-inflicted wounds and malnutrition due to the exorcism. Throughout the film and trial, we are shown flashbacks of her life leading up to her final moments alive. Shows Emily suffering from visions and physical contortions, but doctors diagnose her with epilepsy and psychosis. She leaves school and returns home to her family, but her symptoms worsen, even smelling burnt toast, which, as previously stated in the film, is a well-known supernatural phenomena. During the exorcism, Emily attacks, breaking free from her restraints and fleeing out the window towards the family barn. They chase after her, continuing the exorcism, demanding to know what demons are inside of her. It is revealed to be 6 demons, including Lucifer himself. During the film's final flashback to Emily, we find out that on the day after her exorcism she was visited by the Virgin Mary, who offered her a choice: ascend to heaven or become a martyr and prove the existence of God and demons. Emily chose the latter. It's a bittersweet film, and knowing that it's loosely based on a true story is even more heart-wrenching. In at 3, The Conjuring 2. Now, a lot of you may be surprised that I didn't opt for the first Conjuring film, but in my opinion the second movie is far more effective in delivering a possession story. Plus, it's loosely based on the Enfield haunting, which is a classic for us Brits. As most of us will know, The Conjuring 2 once again follows Ed and Lorraine Warren, but this time to the UK, as they investigate the paranormal occurrences plaguing the Hodgson family. One of the Hodgson children, Janet, is haunted by an angry elderly man who keeps on insisting that the house is his, eventually possessing Janet. We discovered that his name is Bill Wilkins, a man that lived and died in the house. However, we were all duped by this. Bill was never the true baddie of the film. He was just a pawn being manipulated by a demonic force. Valak, aka the Nun. During the final standoff between Lorraine and the demon, Lorraine banishes it back to hell by addressing it by name, thus freeing Janet from its grasp. In it too, the possession of Hannah Grace. Due to be released on November 30th of this year, the possession of Hannah Grace follows a former policewoman who becomes tormented by the supernatural while working in a morgue. The body of a young woman who died during an exorcism is brought in, and this is where things seemingly take a dark and terrifying turn. Hannah Grace, the dead girl, awakens and begins to torment the former police officer, hunting her through the dark halls of the quiet morgue. Take a look. What are your thoughts? Are you gonna check out the possession of Hannah Grace at the end of the month? Leave us all your thoughts in the comments down below. And finally, in at number 1, The Exorcist. Because, of course, we can't possibly do a possession list without including arguably the most famous film of them all, The Exorcist. This 1973 supernatural horror tells the story of Reagan McNeil, a 12-year-old girl living with her actress mother Chris in a beautiful home in Georgetown. However, after Reagan plays with a Ouija board and contacts an imaginary friend called Captain Howdy, things take a dark turn. Reagan begins to act strangely, interrupting her mother's parties by peeing on the floor and even walking down the stairs backwards on her hands and feet. Not only that, but she also begins using obscene language and exhibiting ridiculous amounts of strength. An exorcism is recommended and Father Damien Karras along with Father Merrin perform it. During this, we witness the young girl impale herself with a crucifix, rotate her head 360 degrees, even vomit green slime over Merrin, who eventually dies of a heart attack during the exorcism. Karras, being the girl's last hope, invites the demon to enter him instead, and once it does, Karras throws himself out of the window in a moment of self-sacrifice, destroying the demon's vessel and saving Reagan all at the same time. Well, there we have it. What did you guys think? Have you seen all of the films on our list? Were there any that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before we go, I just want to read out a few of your comments from one of our last videos, Top 5 Smartest Decisions in Horror Movies. Tracy Dunbar said, "I think you would be remiss in forgetting the blind heroine in the movie Hush. What a badass she is." I couldn't agree more. She typically makes it onto most of my lists, especially anything related to final girls. She is arguably one of the greatest portrayals of a final girl thus far. Nightwing Num 1 said, "The one from Saw would not work in reality without a penknife and tape to seal the wound." Well, thank you, good to know. Grid Court said, "Do a part 2 please. I know you can bundle up more and I think that is your favourite sweater, Lucy. Always stunning." I don't remember what sweater I was wearing, but if I took a wild guess, it was probably Brooklyn because I wear that all the time, so thank you. Also, I'm sure we would have no problem squeezing out a part 2. Thanks again guys. If you want to continue on your horror binge, be sure to hit the playlist floating above, and until next time, see you later.